Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. There is this video that you are going to see very soon. That video is very offensive. Now, let's get into this. Sometimes we talk about their privileges and all that, and then they turn around to do reverse psychology on us, telling us that they do not have anything that we have privilege, right? So, a pan-colored man actually went to court and painted his face black. Why? Because he said that they are treating him like a black man in the court. And I am going to ask, why is it black people that you have to use as an example that you are being treated like them? So there is also a way you people treat people that look like me. I mean, they treat us in a certain way, right? So it means that there are some people that deserve to be dehumanized and some people do not deserve it. And then this is where privilege comes in. You know, most times when we talk about their privilege and they say they do not have anything, we say, okay, can you give up your color for a minute, for a day, for one week? And you hear, no, because they know how important that skin color is to them. For this man to walk into the court dressed like that, and they still allowed him in the court talking, telling them that, all right, you all treat me like a black person, so I came to court like this, dressed like a black person. You know what? Let's get into this video.
For me trying to protect and defend myself against the attack from three guys. In essence, treating me like a black man. And today, the reason why I'm like this is because I prepared myself to play my part in your kangaroo court. Treating me like a black man, so today I'm going to be a black man.
You want to say anything further, Mr. Char?
That's about it, I guess, for now. Oh, also, I'd ask this kangaroo court to put a stay.
There's a lot to unpackage in that video, but let's start with this one. Number one, there's a survey done by prisonpolicy.org that found that by age 35, approximately 50% of black men in the survey have been arrested. 35% have been convicted and 25% have been incarcerated. And he felt that he was being treated like one of us. So he insulted us with blackface, huh? Number two, what y'all think about how the lawyer feels about this? Because the look on his face when they zoomed in, he looked like, I told him. Number three, facts over feelings, right? According to Pew Research, despite the narrow gap in our incarceration rates, we still remain overrepresented in jail population admissions, and we stay longer on average. Number four, this is the part that's wild, because according to that same Pew Research, as of 2022, black people were admitted to jail at more than 4 times the rate of white people and stayed in jail 12 more days on average across 594 jail samples, contributing to a large increase in the population observed by us. Number five, every time he called it like kangaroo court, it made me feel some type of way, but he's calling it that because he know they be having us jumping around into all type of sentences and convictions. He felt like I got me jumping like them. Is that why he said it? Lastly, I'm sure it was a lot of us that watched that video and black man like,
that so now why am I and you could have did it. See, I never apologized.
For me trying to protect and defend myself against the attack from three guys.
When you see this face of a man who painted himself as a black face and trying to basically defend himself in front of the judge, apparently his lawyer is standing there because I guess he said he want to represent himself. And then he starts to mention that he guess because he's being treated like a black man, he pretty much have to put a black face on because he's not getting the satisfaction he wants in court. Now, I don't know what happened to his case because I'm hearing that I think he unalived or assaulted or did something with 3 men. I'm assuming that he assaulted some men in jail or outside of jail. Well, anyway, then he claims that this is a kangaroo court. Like, many people don't know what kangaroo court is. We have modern kangaroo court. When we go for eviction of housing, when we go for civil cases, when we want to represent ourselves as a defender or prosecutor, or when we go for speeding tickets. Now, kangaroo court 9/10 of the time was portrayed against us because when we went to kangaroo court, whether there was a jury or not a jury, usually it's the judge that makes this decision. It was rather illegal because the judge will pretty much will be in the favor of them and the prosecution. So it was a no-win situation. But if you look at the population of people who are black, men and women who are incarcerated, whether it's juvenile or state or federal penitentiary, we have been on the top of the polling poll of every single prosecution. 9 tenths of the time, our cases are not equipped for us to go to prison, but they still put it there. People got into prison because of civil rights movement. And they couldn't turn around and say it was for civil rights, so they turned around and said we lied because we was doing terrorism or doing something that was shameless or doing something that's a mockery to the United States government, which wasn't even true because they were fighting for their rights. A lot of times, people went to jail because they claimed that they had shot somebody, and come to find out they didn't because they was at the wrong place at the wrong time. When I look at this gentleman who puts a black face on, first of all, that's a mockery of us in the black culture. It's the same thing how this one here, who's an actress, and she feels that she's not getting the entitlement. So she felt like it's okay to mock us as black women and saying that she has to be, a woman, she has to be black, okay? Because that's the only way that she can get outspoken and get heard. Now, whatever problem she have, I know her salary is good. I know she can hit every type of leading role that she's supposed to get. But they love to use us as their scapegoat or way to capitalize or to make them feel famous. But sometimes it makes them feel shameless. Because when I say shameless, if I see something like this and I'm a judge and I let the evidence speak for itself. But you see, when people have a sociopath and a narcissistic behavior and they always think that their rights are wrong, he thought that this was the right thing to do. And his lawyer sitting right there and saying that, oh man, as long as I get paid, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it makes him look like a clown. And here was another one, Michael Wong. He's the one that helped the people like Edward Bloom to end affirmative action. Okay? And it became a dissatisfaction to all minorities, including blacks, because he claimed that he was not getting accepted to the Ivy League school that he wanted to do, that he applied for. But guess what? Once he realized the joke was on him, because they bamboozled him, because not only it affected schools, it affected minorities, including blacks, because we're still a minority, to even get a job where we were qualified for a job, to be even accepted to positions because we were qualified. A lot of blacks that went to go to these Ivy League schools, the schools were receiving funding. It's only because these children were qualified for it, okay? But other minorities were on the bandwagon with him as well, but they used him as a scapegoat. Now, later on, he finally realized that the joke was on him, and he affected a lot of people to get open doors, okay? Because affirmative action wasn't for color either. It was also for people for race, ethnicity, especially for women. Because remember, women didn't get rights until in the late 1800s, but black women and minority women didn't get rights into the civil rights movement, okay? Because they still didn't count us because we was a minority. And once you're in the minority pool, just because you're not black, that don't necessarily mean they're going to try to outskite you as well. But he noticed that it affected him now, because guess what? Since the affirmative action was open, the non-affirmative action was open, and the affirmative action was closed, it gave him a reality knowing that it's going to affect him and his community. But you see, this is what happens when you're selfish and when people don't understand what minority and what cultures mean. And you see, if all minorities come together, we wouldn't have this problem. But y'all want to do separate movement because guess what? He's the poster child for protesting against affirmative action, Michael Wong. And now he says that he never meant for it to be abolished because the joke was on him. So when we see this gentleman saying that he was being portrayed he was portrayed as a black man because he didn't get equal satisfaction, and he said he's in the presence of a kangaroo court, we can say that as a black person because how many of us, even if we have a paid lawyer who's qualified and we have the evidence, how many times we end up going to be slow in the slammer, okay? How many times when people who are in there that's fighting for an appeal and they can't get one because they know for sure that they are innocent? How many times that people are innocent and fighting for their lives in there, okay, just to stay alive, who are black? How many times women of color has fight for roles without doing any special favors? How many times that we got snubbed from Oscars, including Native Indians? Just recently, a Native Indian played a role in Killers and the Flowers of the Moon. And she did a very good part of it because I saw the movie. But guess what? She got snubbed. How many times people in the Asian community got snubbed? They just recently gave an award to a woman from X amount of years, from the year before last. But how many times the Asian community ever received an award, whether it's female or male? How many times directors who are black received an award? And even though they had the best motion picture film, best costume, best ensemble, the best actors and actresses, and still never got acknowledged and still was snubbed compared to people in the white culture. But she said she'd rather be like us because we can be outspoken. And that, to me, that was sarcasm. That wasn't something as a compliment. So we say to ourselves, these are the same people that like to slap us in the face and use us as a scapegoat because they feel like when they don't get the equality. So imagine what they do behind closed doors. Imagine what they do behind closed doors when they can't get their way. And we already seen it right now. Divide and conquer is the name of the game in this federal government. And they use that against other people, whether they're feminists, whether they're socialists, and whether they want to give equal opportunity, whether it's a part of sexualism. They all play a role because everybody's selfish. Because no matter what, they always think that black lives don't matter, even though it does matter.
So this is all I got from this, and you all already know to them, it does not matter. You know what I am saying. And let me start by saying that he decided to put, like, dress like a black person to court. Why? Because to him, he felt that they are treating him like a black person. And I going to say this. I want you all to know that they know how badly they have treated people that look like me. They know how horrible they are treating people like me. They understand, or should I say they understood what people like me are going through presently in their hands, what they have gone through and still going through till this very moment. Because for him to wake up and decide that he is going to dress like this, he knew that because when we talk about privilege, they refuse to acknowledge that they have privilege. And then when you ask them, can you give up your color for just a day or for a second, they will tell you, no, I cannot do it. That tells you that they know that they have the privilege, and they know that their skin color is a lot of immunity. I don't know if you get what I am saying. So they know that there is how you are supposed to treat people that are not palm colored, right? And there is a way you are supposed to treat a palm colored person. You dare not treat someone that is palm colored the same way you treat black people, right? So this is one of the reasons why when we talk about police brutality, right? It looks like we are blabbing. It looks like that we do not know what we're saying. It looks like we are making up a lot of things up, right? Redlining, Jim Crow, and the rest of it. The reality is that they know. They absolutely know what they are doing. And they know people they are doing it to. It is not people like them. They know the people they do it to, And looking at them, even including his lawyer. Probably the lawyer is already fed up because, like, if this is not ridiculous, I don't know what else you want to say. And number one is that him painting his face that way already shows or tells you the kind of person he is, because you do not wake up to do blackface. That is extremely racist, right? But yeah, this is what black people wake up to. I am really so embarrassed looking at him come to court like that because he felt that he is not being treated right. Now, I want us to know this and I want us to run with this. You know what? Sometimes we're trying to make excuses for them, like probably they do not know, or there are some people you see probably in the past, they have said some horrible things about people that look like me, right? And then later on, right, come back to say that they are activists or they are trying to do better. I really do understand that people change. That is absolutely great. People change, people grow, and all that. But I am always against allies, right? Because they do the most. Check around from beginning to the end. It doesn't go away. Wow. So he knows what he is doing and he understood what he did. There is no excuses for him. They already knew people that are humans, and there are people that are actually like, you do not treat because they really do not look like. Because if someone can wake up and tell me that I look like, you know what I am saying, right? So what else do you want to say? You want to still make excuses or make excuse for the person? See you all in my next video. Bye for now.